Hey, welcome to the channel. In this video I'd just like to make a little mention of something about ObamaCare, the healthcare law that's in effect and taking place. Did you know some companies got waivers that they don't have to apply to the law, but other companies do? And doesn't this make for unfair business practices? For example, McDonald's has a waiver and doesn't have to apply their healthcare law to their employees. But other companies do have to apply that healthcare law to their employees. If you're McDonald's and you don't have to have the healthcare law in regard to your employees, but you're a small-time hamburger making shop and you have to apply the healthcare law, is that going to affect the economy of both of those companies? Basically, it's a case of the big guys who are hand in hand with government not having the rules applied to them, but the other guys who are not hand in hand with the government has the rules applied to them. That's an unfair business practice. That reminds me of the old stories I'd read about the kings. How, let's say, the money changers and the rich would basically bribe the king, give them a bunch of money, and that rich guy would get basically what he wanted from the king. But the other guys who had the same business and didn't have the money to bribe the king, well, they would get hit with whatever the rules were that the king had. Unfair, right? I'm sure you've heard about those old days of the Middle Ages and kings and stuff, hand in hand, working with the rich. And when you think about it, how the hell is that fair? Either a rule and a law applies to everyone across the board, no matter how fair or unfair it may be, or it applies to no one. But this is selective reasoning and being selective of who gets to live one way and how the laws apply to them, and who lives another way and how the law applies to them. This is so not fair as a business practice. Either McDonald's should be forced to comply with the law that everyone else has to pay into for their employees in terms of health care, or the other companies should have the option to opt out of this law as well. That would be the fair thing to do. Now we're facing a government that is regulating basically businesses and who can do what. Wow, very fair, very reasonable, right? Obamacare in action. Talk to you later.